it up!
Ladies and gents, welcome to my unboxing slash review of the NECA Superman Man of Steel 1/4 figure. That's right, this is an awesome, huge figure we've got here. This is my actual first review of an action figure, which is going to be something a little different than what you have seen from my previous unboxings for the Art FX series. So hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this. I'm very excited to get into it and see what we actually have in store here. One thing I gotta say is I'm not very pleased with the type of packaging that it came in. I did order this from Amazon, but I just don't feel that the packaging was kind of well put together. There was no foam placement, no nothing around the sides or anything, just a little bit of paper. But it's not too bad, but I think it definitely could have come a lot better. Now this was supposed to come to me pretty much brand new, but as you can see, there are little itty bitty kind of scruff marks all over the back. It's kind of just very not pleasant to look at. I gotta say, on a scale of 1 to 10 rating this box, it's definitely gonna be like below a 5 for me, maybe a 4. You can tell so many scuff marks on the sides, all different kinds of things that's wrong with the box itself. And but the figure inside, it doesn't look too bad, and it's actually in the shape of a cape. But you can see here definitely some mishandling of the box, maybe in the actual shipment itself. Who knows? But something for you guys just to kind of take note of if you're going to receive this from Amazon. And then again, it could have just been the person that actually published it. This was not from Amazon Direct. It was from obviously a toy company through Amazon. So we're going to go and open this sucker up, and we're going to see what's actually inside here. It's pretty easy to get out, but it is a little bit rough around the edges. Definitely not as sturdy of a box as I would have liked for the price. So you can get this from Amazon right now for around $63 to $64. If you try to get it from eBay or anything like that, you're going to be paying way too much. You can actually end up paying over $100 or close to $100 for it. And I definitely feel that the quality is good as far as the figure itself, but just the boxing is not something that I'm a fan of. As you can see, it comes with one set of hands, and the figure is in there pretty nicely. It's not going to move around on you, obviously, as you can see from the back here, but I think they could have done a better job. I mean, one thing that sells a lot of people like me who like action figures is the box itself, and it's just not a very good box. It's time to take a look at the action figure itself. Alright, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful S. I've got to say that this definitely does. I do see a similarity to the actor that this action figure is portraying, Henry Cavill, however you want to pronounce it. You can definitely see a little bit. It's not as good as, say, the Kotobukiya Artifact Superman Man of Steel statue, but for what you're getting, something that's going to be around $60 to $80, this isn't too bad. As the Kotobukiya was over $100, so you're definitely getting a little bit more. But just remember the size and the scope of this figure itself. This is over 18 inches tall, so it is definitely something that will take up a lot of space in your display. And also, one thing that I'm not quite sure on is why they didn't put a stand. As you can see, he's kind of tilted a little bit, and that's the only way that I'm actually able to get him to stand up. But everything else seems to be just perfect on this figure. I really do like the sculpt. I do like the cape. It's definitely, you can tell it's kind of not as a grade of fabric as some of the other statues that I have for the Man of Steel, but this is still definitely a good enough cape. Maybe with a little bit of ironing, we can actually straighten it out a little bit so it'll look definitely a lot better. And you can tell that this is definitely the Man of Steel costume. All the little details are there for the actual costume itself. And of course, it's a very good hair sculpt as well. Definitely can see the likeness to Henry Cavill's hair and all that kind of stuff. One thing I wish they would have put that classic kind of little curl in his hair, because I remember growing up, that curl was like, I always wanted to have that curl in my hair when I was growing up, being a big, huge Superman fan that I am. Now, this has over 30 points of articulation, which is quite a bit. However, it is very hard to actually get it to go into kind of the places that you want it to. And of course, everything kind of has to be lined up too, because each of your muscles can actually move in different directions. So it might take a little bit for you to get it into the right kind of angle for you to do that. And you also notice there's a big gap between his legs here. But if you can get it to stand up, in a good proper position inside your display unit, you definitely want to have the legs closed, as it'll take away from that. But there are little kind of inserts on the bottom here, so if you do want to find yourself a stand that you're going to be able to stand him up on, obviously they give you that opportunity. And this is pretty much the only flying pose you're going to be able to get out of the Man of Steel, since it doesn't come with one of those things that normal Hot Toys or things like that come with to be able to get into a kind of a flying pose. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to try to get him into a nice little flying angle and show you guys kind of what he looks like and what he can do with his arms. There is just a little bit of give and take with the neck. It can go up and down. It can go a little bit left and right. It does not go up clearly enough to get that perfect kind of flying pose, but it is enough to where you can be satisfied with it. I love it. The shadow in the back actually kind of sells it for me. Really looks cool. Now, this is a very heavy figure. This comes in at about just over 4 pounds, give or take. So it is not something that's going to be light. So if you are going to be playing with your dolls, definitely it's going to give yourself a nice little workout here. But definitely looks really, really cool when you're trying to do that. I'm liking it so far. This is obviously pretty cheap for the size and the scale of it, and you can see what you can rotate the sides. You can rotate the chest back and forth, so that's pretty cool as well. Although it does look a little weird since it's not an actual suit, as it is more of built into it. And it comes with just one extra pair of hands, which are the flying pose. However, I was actually trying to get it out, or to get the hands to separate from the figure itself, and I could not. I guess you really got to pull, because I was not able to get it out real quickly. You can also see that there's some scuff marks here, but if you are so inclined, you can always kind of go in and do your own kind of little paint job. One thing I don't like is the way that they did the right above the lip there underneath the nose. I think they could have done better on that, but everything else is, if you're looking at it and viewing it from a distance, these kind of things don't really come out. Other than that, I think it actually looks pretty good. Now we're going to get him into kind of a different pose here. Alright, so we got him in a new pose. He's got him in a Jean-Claude Van Damme kind of pose here. That's about as far as his legs are going to go. Now you're not going to be able to get him to stand up doing this, but I just thought it was pretty funny to kind of put him in this pose. But again, I'm still loving just the face, the eyes, the eyebrows. Everything just really stands out, especially the cheekbones and everything like that. Really do kind of mimic Henry Cavill a little bit. And a very good S shield, although I see a little bit of darker kind of imprints on it itself. But it is pretty funny how you got him in this little... just imagine that there's 2 Volvo trucks underneath. and you've got the Superman Man of Steel music playing in the background. So let's try a different pose here. Alright, so I think this is one of my more favorite poses that I can get him in to actually be able to stand up. He's definitely a little bit straighter than he was in the first pose, and I definitely like the shadow in the back. Alright, well that's going to do it for my NECA Man of Steel Superman 1/4 scale action figure. Hopefully you enjoyed. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe. Peace out, bitches!